Okay. Let's see. Can you hear me? My one viewer at the moment. System preference. Hold on just a moment. We'll be on shortly. Sure, input. Yes, we are at go. And output. Hey, how you doing, Joan? Hey, Peter. Right on. So you guys can hear. Good. All right. So I have my friend Jules that I met on my sojourn, my spirit walk I went on last year, and her dad and I actually performed at Vinyl. Just had a good time making some music or whatever, and then she and I clicked on a soul level, and we've been having some incredible chats ever since. So I'm really excited to have her hop on here and talk. Anyway, so have a lot of weird stuff that to bring to bring to the table today, because I've had some tripped out dreams twice now, and I'm not trying to push like a fearmonger thing ever. I'm not about that, but I've had some trippy dreams about people being sucked up into spaceships against their will, and we don't want to do that. Oh, and I got star right when I said it, and it was inverted. Self-recognition and aspiration from the heavens. So I think this is very much about being in alignment with who you are and who you're and what you're attracting. But I was watching William Henry and Regina on Gaia a while ago, and they were talking about crazy archons and the little grays, and they don't have souls, and they're snatching people for something called loosh, which is like a spiritual substance that's like a drug. And oh, now we got strength. Truth needs to be told. Yes, it does. But so it's such a fine line. I don't want somebody like spouting their fears at me, but we also want the truth to come out. So what do we do with that information? We absolutely have to be careful with how we bring it up and bring it about. Setback. Okay, and that's another thing I have noticed in the last 2 days is that something was going very according to plan, and as of yesterday, things just came to a halt. New perception, creative explosion, revolutionizing the world. Okay, so it doesn't mean anything bad is like a situation. It's just saying things are taking a turn for, it looks like a positive turn. A setback doesn't always have to be negative. It can be a strategic retreat. So I may have 2 other guests come in. It depends on if they flake on me or not. Since this is just a personal little intimate gathering, nobody signed a contract to be here. But I may have somebody come in from Hawaii, and I may have somebody come in from, hold on just a minute, she's getting the from Southern Oregon, and then I got a lady coming in right now from Dallas Fort Worth that will be on right now. Okay. I'm new to using this restream, so hopefully there won't be a problem. And I am going to look to you guys to give me some guidance just in case we have any technical issues. Please let me know so I can work them out and have a nice clear stream for everyone. I think that should be it, and then she should be able to get on now. Okay, so our topic is, of course, everybody's talking about the shift and the ascension, and is there an event in December? And I actually went as far as having my own QHHT session, which is the quantum hypnosis healing technique. Hey, lady.
Can you hear me?
Hey,
can you hear me?
Yeah. How you doing?
It sounds really weird.
Does it? Nah, you just sound weird. It's just you.
When you talk, it sounds like, what the hell?
Do you have your computer settings like coming through some?
It just came in.
Is it weird? All right.
Now it's better.
So yeah, I'm new to the restream thing. I've only used it once, and it seems as simple as, because you don't have to sign up for an account and do all this horse shit. You can just share a link, and up to 6 people can get on and talk. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, so I was just introducing you and the topic. If you want to say a few words about yourself, and all I said was that I met you on my soul walk last year, and we've had some really good talks about all that's going on right now, and that I was really excited to bring you in. So this is Jules, or Miss Julie.
Hello. I'm getting an echo. Something I need to do.
Yeah, you are cutting out, but I don't hear an echo.
I'm like hearing myself as a.
I would look on your actual settings, your computer settings, and see what you have. If you have the sound coming out of your speakers at you, then it will cause an echo. So I don't have my sound coming out of anything right now. But I don't know that's the deal. That could be the deal.
It's only. So it is doing something. I just don't know.
Okay. Okay, so is your microphone in the computer, or do you have an external one? Okay, because you were cutting. You're cutting in and out. Have this little groovy little fella.
Yeah, I haven't any of that. I don't any of this, so I don't.
You got a hello, Jules. Can you see the chat or the chat message?
The chat message.
Okay, so this is a computer, not a phone, right?
Computer. So let me see. Y'all get to talk. I'll see if I can fix this.
Okay. All right. So we thought we would kind of address the elephant in the room about, is spaceships coming to pick us up on December 21st? Or are those archons and they're collecting souls and it's not benevolent? Or is it like dependent purely upon if you're fear-based, or if your heart, like living in your heart and you're positive, and like the whole law of attraction, if you're not worried and you're not fearful, you're just gonna attract some good stuff. It's LSD without taking the drug. Yes, it is. Okay, so I was studying up on this a little bit, doing a little extra research than just shooting from the hip. And since the 1960s, they have been talking about augmenting the human body for space travel. Because our feeble little physicalities can only handle 20 different elements. And with space travel, we're going to be exposed to way beyond anything in a 20 element spectrum. And so then this goes into like transhumanism and freaking cyborgs, and are we willing to leave this carbon-based body and then go off into some sort of like computer simulation, which people say we live in the first place, but we can actually touch, feel, smell this. Anyways, so there's all this crap up in the air of like, why did we even want to know? Why do we even want to know what's going on? Because the deeper we look, the deeper the rabbit hole goes of the potentials. Like, there is some insanity that is actually possible right now.
Can you hear me?
I just turned you back on. You had gone away. I hear you fine.
It's still doing it. I'm just Chrome to thing. So just go back. I gotta go check my talking about.
Okay. Well, I don't hear an echo on this end.
It's my speaker. For sure.
Yeah, just turn your speaker off.
It's in the computer.
We'll go up to the settings, your preferences, and shut it off.
And then how will I hear you?
Oh, that's a good point. Some people wear headphones. I'm an idiot. I don't know. I have.
Let me see if it does have a headphone.
Okay. Yeah, if I didn't have my music studio stuff set up here, I'd probably not be set up for it at all. She just did lock out and log back in, but thank you. Yeah. Okay, so going down the rabbit hole of all the weird possibilities that could be taking place right now, because there are millions upon millions of people talking about ascension symptoms. So something is physically happening. It's not just a bunch of hippies getting together, singing Kumbaya, and hoping that something beautiful will transpire, because humanity has gone through so many cycles of assuming or hoping or wanting something similar to that to happen. In 1987, during the harmonic convergence, in the 60s, it was all peace and love and bring on the beings and let's transcend. We have had all kinds of cults, Heaven's Gate, the Unarius Academy, and they all believe that we are going to have a bunch of celestial friends come here and scoop us up and take us somewhere new, or keep us safe until they recycle and reboot the earth and get rid of all the toxins and the crap that's going on here. There's all these crazy potentials about what we want to happen, what could be happening, etc. So this chat is just kind of organically shoot back and forth some ideas and what people's attitudes and or possibly fears, although I'd like to stay away from fear. Fear does not help, hinders always, unless you know not to put your hand in the tiger's mouth, but that's just good common sense. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what are thoughts on this? Are we more excited? Or do we think nothing is going to happen? It's just going to be like every other single time. And the only reason that is throwing me, because I've never once thought that, and I was all wrapped up in 2012, but I was doing research. I didn't think the world was ending for 1 second. In fact, my kids and I were busy packing up and moving to Austin that December 2011. So if I thought the world was ending, I wouldn't have been spending time and energy trying to move 12 hours away. So this is the first time I have wondered, not necessarily that the world is ending, but is there potential for a cosmic assisted split in the dualistic nature of humanity? So I got a QHHT, the quantum healing hypnosis technique. I was hypnotized for 3 hours last week and asked my higher self some questions and my subconscious session some questions about this shift to see if it was any different or the same as what I've seen in other sessions. And I would say it's about 75% consistent, which is incredibly notable. I mean, that 75% success rate is epic enough for you to put fat stacks of money on. So in my session, it said that it was not going to be some huge light and then 60% of humanity just drops dead or gets drawn up into spaceships on December 21st. But it did say that something similar to that would take place for certain soul groups, and that more organically, people who had soul contracts coming in and knowing this potential that we could be leaving the earth if we were living in light and love and tired of the service to self, greed mongering, religious political matrix that we have never felt at home in. And if we had the soul contract to be leaving now because this is an actual potential, then but I want to pet the kitty. All right, I'm gonna stop reading your messages, Joan. You're crazy. Love you. All right, so having soul contracts and being connected to your families. Well, see, the 144,000 people, it's way bigger than that, way bigger than that. That is like the light workers down here. And that's not even all the assistance that we have going on. It started with that. And there's been 3 waves of people coming in to assist humanity to shift into a higher state of consciousness and to ascend into what we are referring to as a 5D Christ consciousness state of mind and living from the heart space and living in a place of love. Hi, Jules. Did you get it worked out?
I found one.
Okay.
And it's got a
So, I don't know. You sound, I mean, you're a little garbly, but there's no echo.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I can just get over and talk is a problem.
So talk like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can't even, like, I was certain that it was just an evolutionary shift in consciousness to 5D. And then the more I research, it seems to be an actual phasing separation because everything is energy, that the planet splits in a phase, and that's possible. And then I kept digging down the damn rabbit hole and shouldn't have. And started reading, you know, about the archons, and that's the little gray dudes, and they're like half trans. They're not even human, so I wouldn't call them that. They're like little cyborg gray aliens that don't have souls. And this is something I was researching through David Icke back in 2004, 5, 6, I don't know. So then the sphere things started sneaking in. But I've had 2 insane dreams in the past 2 weeks of one wasn't a dream. I woke up shouting, they're collecting bodies. They don't have enough bodies. Be careful where you go. Have your hot, like, transhumanism. Yeah, but I'm talking about gray aliens, so he's not a human. So transalienism. Yes, and they are supposedly in league with reptilians. So Jules, can you see the chat, or am I? Okay, cool. So I don't know. What's your view as far as, like, do you feel comfortable with this? Or are you just excited? Like, as far as what you feel coming in, for you personally, how are you?
Me?
Yeah, you're my guest.
Okay. I'm gonna have to talk like this. So then I get to hear myself and hear myself and I'm all over the place. Second, I'm excited. Second, I don't understand it. Second, I realize I don't have it. And I'm to a point now where I feel like it's being pressed extremely hard and present of what's going on in the moment and allow it to happen. And stop trying to figure it out. That's what's being pressed on me.
I agree.
I'm trying to figure it out.
I totally, I mean, I'm into the go with the flow, and I've had dreams where I woke up saying, just let go. And I've even seen the words in front of my eyelids while they were closed, let it go. But I have always been such a researcher. I just love finding out a little bit more.
I was saying, if I go back and forth, because as much as I want to be and want to stay, that's not where I will continue to search and going in different directions. So much. That's whenever I do. I get overwhelmed is when I'll listen. Okay. It's gonna happen. Just be there and connected with people. Express your heart out there and let everybody feel you. And you're doing more than imagine being you right now.
Yeah, I think that because I do very, very much believe in the law of attraction and your vibe will attract your tribe. Being in the flow and being in trust. And it's that very first feeling or thought about it. That feeling is blissful and loving and excited. And so that's what I would say to stay with. Because generally the first is truth. And because of law of attraction scientifically backing that up, then why wouldn't we just stay in our heart space and be excited and know that through doing so we will totally attract our appropriate UFO or whatever it is, you know?
Exactly. So they are getting from me too.
So they're hearing.
It's got to be my speakers picking up the loop of me talking and then my computer.
That's why I was saying if you had, but you have it's the wrong thingy. I don't hear the echo, but anyway.
Going into my speaker.
Okay, so basically trying to stay in our heart space with a multitude of information going on. Even from me. Myrna's saying she has really bad echoes. Do you hear echoes from me, Julie?
No. You're smooth.
No. From both of us, Lawrence? I don't know, man. Let me see. This is a different setting on my microphone. This is another. No, Lawrence said he hears it too, Myrna. Oh, just Julie. Okay. I don't hear it on my end, which is weird. I should be hearing it.
So I just moved, or else I would be able to find another pair of these.
Maybe you can log in through your phone. Will they plug into your phone?
As long as it doesn't die. Because that's where
it Okay, so if we're just gonna trust that we can be strong enough and focused enough to hold our vibe clearly enough to not let any of the negativity come in and of me, or yeah, I don't know. So, okay. I keep getting messages that echoes and can't hear, but that it's just you, but you're not talking. It's only me talking.
Okay, I'm getting off the computer. Oh God, that.
Oh, see, you even look better now. Like it's a clearer stream. Yay!
I'm here. Did that help at all? Oh
That's
my
a
gosh,
lot
I'm
better.
still hearing it.
Really? Oh man, you are so much clearer. Okay. Well, if
Now
you
I
can
know why people
stand
use
it.
these.
Now I know why people use these. Yeah, it's a lot clearer.
It's got a pretty good delay,
Okay.
so I can do it better on here. Are they still hearing the echo?
No, they said it's much clearer.
Perfect. I'll get over it.
Okay. So as long as it's clearer. I mean, I can look into some different platforms, but tonight we have Restream, and this is the show, folks. So staying steadfast in our focus and our trust that it's a benevolent shift. Things are going along beautifully, and it's for the betterment of mankind. It's the ascension into a higher state of consciousness, and that's what we are focused on. This is like, so I'm like reading the chats and I don't hear any echoes, so I'm like totally getting thrown here. Okay, so, and something I've never heard of is loosh, Loosh.
What's that mean?
It's apparently some sort of galactic drug you get from soul essence. I just heard of it for the first time today, which could be like a dark, strange topic we don't have to go into, but that it's always interesting. I mean, I've been studying this for so long, for that to have just come up for the first time today was kind of strange. So, okay, something that does have me look deeper into the transhumanism aspect of things is Google. And they're working on doing the retinal implants and providing nanonutrients where they inject us with little nanites, and it like goes through our system and says, hey, your blood is good and your kidney needs little work, and then it goes back to reports into home base, and they'll either heal you or whatever, so we can get like 300 or 400 years out of our bodies, but they're going to change our bodies. Yeah. That was the aspect I didn't want to go into. The 501 creepy shit, adrenochrome. I don't want to talk about that. I don't like it. I can't do it. I'm like, that's going to keep me from ascending, because if we need a bouncing off point of the lowest low so we can never revisit that deep, dark energy level again, I just can't wrap my head around humans doing that kind of stuff to each other. I can't fucking go there. I can't force myself to go there. I don't want to. I don't want to. So I'm just going to have to be a little more vanilla than other people that could do that, because I don't want to go there. Oh, that's all good. Anyway, but even like scripturally speaking, in different cultures, they discuss how our human bodies cannot actually handle space travel. And what I was talking about earlier is that our carbon-based bodies can only handle being around 20 different elements, like the elements, the table of
chart.
Yeah, and so there's who knows how many. We only know what we've got to sample through meteorites and whatever planets they're not telling us are visiting. And so there's way more elements than the 20 that we know about here on Earth, and that our bodies cannot do that. So we have to change. Hence the crystalline and the ascension symptoms and the light codes and all that. And so there's an organic process to us changing into a more crystalline, plasmatic form of human. And then there's people in Silicon Valley that are literally trying to create bodies for this, the perfect bodies. And it's like a race for ascension to see who can get there quicker, if we can do it organically, or if Silicon Valley can create these smart bodies, which is what we would be if they start putting nanobots in us. And then we're connected to Neuralinks, and then we've got Elon Musk putting up satellites left and right. So that's where we are. That's not fear-based. That shit is actually going on.
But it's also just like the robots that they've turned us into of society today.
Yeah. Yes, in the
just
polarity.
A different level.
Yes, it totally. From within outward, and this whole 6 feet of separation and the masks and seclusion, that's the dualistic nature tendency of compliance, like getting us to comply, because it wasn't just like this cold act, you can't touch and hug and communicate properly with strangers and all that, and go dancing and be sweaty. And now you have
I just got doing that last weekend.
I'm
jealous. A lot of fun.
Yes. Okay. So I just did this crazy song last week for my Discord beat challenge, and it was called AI, and it's a bunch of samples from David Icke and how he's talking about the Neuralink, and that they subtly introduce it in our subconscious. Like we have Siri and Alexa, and we're talking to them like they're almost human. Hey, turn up the volume, turn it down a notch, make the room a little warmer, like this whole thing, until it's a comfortable transition for us. And then we're neuralinked in, and it just continues. And so it seems like this is happening regardless if we want to go about it through Silicon Valley and pay $1 million for a body or whatever it will be. But when there's millions upon millions of us having actual ascension symptoms, we know our bodies are changing. I was just looking at some a minute ago that were talking about how their bodies are improving and their muscle, like elasticity, and my hair has been growing like a weed, and I'm feeling good. So there are definite noticeable changes happening with us, and I'm like, go organic. I don't want to have a plastic body and be in some weird tube. The boiled frog theory, elaborate, Lawrence. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. Now I've got to take a note so I can look it up. The boiled frog theory. So we don't want to be afraid. And if something is happening on December 21st, hello, that's 10 days from now. That's 10, 11 days from now.
How excited are you?
If I knew what was going on, I'd be more excited. Like either
way.
That's
the control. Let go of the control and just let it come. Like there's, I don't know. It's going to be the beginning. I don't know. Personally, in my gut, I feel like it's not going to be, for me, a thing.
What do you mean? Like a fear thing, or a...
No, I feel like it's going to be the beginning of a shift. Just what you were talking about earlier. In my walk, I feel like it's going to be the beginning of a shift. I don't understand beyond that.
You think it's the beginning that will start on December? You don't feel it already happening?
No. It's been happening, but I'm saying a shift for everything's, I don't know how to put it into words. A beginning of the full ascension happening. Does that make sense? Like we're in step one that day of there's no turning back. We've been in the prep and the transition for however long now. And that's the beginning of the real shit. I feel it in my freaking body right now.
Okay, so Lawrence said it means putting the frog in cold water and then slowly turning up the temperature so it's unnoticeable till it's too late.
I have heard that.
I mean, nobody wants to go there, have no idea a way to fight it. I used to have reoccurring dreams about winning the lottery, and I think I told you about this. And the shit hit the fan. It was like Battlestar Galactica on planet Earth, and me and all my money and my resources were helping all these people avoid all this crazy shit that was happening on the surface of Earth, and we were finding ways to survive and take down the deep state and this whole crazy situation. And the more I keep hearing, I'm like, I guess I'll just keep buying lottery tickets just to have those bases covered. Just in case.
Do you see how high that sucker's getting?
Yeah. Yeah. But
I'm waiting for 333. It's coming soon.
There you go.
Maybe it'll be on December 21st.
Well, that's a Monday.
And then it won't matter anymore.
I know. I was like, it'll be this one ticket. It'll be the winning ticket, and I'm like some particle dust. But, you know, if that is the case, then we're going somewhere where we can instantly manifest anything anyway. So, I wish when I had my QHHT session that she would have taken me to the new Earth. We didn't go there. We actually ran out of time. But some of them that I've listened to, there is a very valid consistency throughout them, and they've been talking about it for like 3 years, and I didn't know anything about it until this year. Like I'd heard it like touched on, but I never really researched it and got into it. I was not vibing with it. And now for the last 3 years, all these different people are talking about somewhere else. And in that study, I've heard people talking about being in different levels of spirituality or love, vibration, or frequency. And I don't want the chat on. It's totally distracting my age.
You should do it on my phone because I can't see it. It's below. I have to scroll to see it.
Oh, okay.
FYI.
So she said, I can manifest now, my dear. And I'm like, give me the winning lottery ticket. No, I cannot. I have manifested lots of things. Like I manifested my QHHT. I didn't know if I was going to have money or be able to schedule an appointment in time before the end of December, which is kind of like the excitement or the thrill behind it. And I got an extra payment. And then one of my favorite practitioners had a cancellation, and it was literally like an overnight sensation that it took place. So I can manifest, but we're talking like deliberately manifest. I want my house to look like this, and I've heard that it's made out of trees that are actually alive. They're not cut out and sawed and hammered and nailed. They're these organic, beautiful, living nature working in concert with us to create beautiful habitations. And the more we focus and meld and decide, the more of form it becomes, like some trippy sci-fi stuff. But how can you not look forward to that? I'm pretty stoked about it. I've also heard one session talking about, she was friends with the practitioner, and she was talking about her and her family, and that her husband, and her 2 children were all on very different levels, and something very different happened to each of them. They all had very different appearances, and that they were starting at like a base awakened level where they were just like little soul essences living on some mushroom until they learn to vibrate higher, more consistently. Then they got like another form that they created themselves. And it's all us doing it to us. It's not anything being done to us or restrictions placed upon us. It's literally our evolution in process. And as we evolve into love frequency, I am imagining, looks like somebody's trying to come in, that we get more physical and we have more gifts, so to speak. And of course, you know, who the hell doesn't want that to be the option? Who doesn't want that to be the outcome? But there have been so many cycles of humanity thinking that was about to happen. And the only thing I see different this time is the ascension symptoms, the global ascension symptoms. And there's millions, if not a couple of billion of us that have awakened and are in the know. And it sounds like a lot, but if there's nearly 8 billion people.
Well, and it also lines up with the astrology is something that I've dove into for years. And it what, the 26,000 year cycle or something?
Mm-hmm. Alien. Yes, totally. And that's something that you can
the age of just Aquarius.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right,
That's the Christmas morning star that will take place on Christmas. That's the alignment. And I guess there has been conjunctions of 2 planets. This time it's a trine, so there's 3, and it hasn't happened in 800 years. And so this is a spectacularly fabulous difference between this 12/21 than any other Christmas solstice or whatever, where they're saying that this was supposed to have happened. This is a 1 in 800 year situation. So yeah, it's a little more rare. And that plus the ascension symptoms going across. And
do you know what I'm talking about? The 26,000 year one?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
what is
those are the different kappas that you can actually research geologically. That's like in concert with the Mayan calendar.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And the Aztec calendar, I actually have a copy of a Aztec calendar that I found at a yard sale for $1. And it's just this manuscript that was never even put into a book. So there's hardly any of them out there. And I just thought it was crazy that I freaking found that. Keep talking. Let me grab it.
Please do. That's exciting. So how is everybody doing? Is my echo still going? I tried to change my setting, but that didn't work. That's awesome.
And it goes in all these incredible like symbols and like the culture, different like sites that you find in South America. It's freaking amazing. But I found this for $1 like 10 years ago in a yard sale.
That's awesome. It's in great shape too.
Well, it's kind of a cool book. I can't replace it. Hold on just a sec. My friend is trying to. Her phone. This is another guest that was trying to come on who's having technical issues.
So it's not just me.
No. Oh, no. It's a thing right now. We were having like one of the largest solar storms that we've had in years. So I didn't even know if tonight was going to happen.
That's why I've had so many phone issues all day. And I knew it was something, but I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah, it was a C7 something R4. I don't know what that means, but 7's like really high. And okay, I suck at fucking squirrel, butterfly, messages. What?
That's part of the robot that they've created out of all of us. We have no attention span for shit. All of us. I don't care who you are. Unless you're a monk.
What were we talking about right before then?
Before the calendar?
We were on, yeah. So the 26,000 year cycle. And that being a real thing that has been noted through scientists, archaeologists, geologists, and whatnot. It's a real thing. And we are coming upon that again this year. And people thought it was the whole 2012 thing, and they couldn't like mathematically figure out the correlation of why they were calling it the end of the calendar, but that was the beginning of the end. Like you were mentioning 12/21 will be the beginning for your actual ascension process.
Not the actual ascension process, but like just how you've mentioned where there's going to be different phases. I feel like it's the beginning of the phases happening, and then it's not going to be exactly the same like that day, bam, for everybody. It's going to be that way for some people, but then I feel like I keep consistently seeing synchronicities that are showing that there's like levels, and it's not going to it's going to be the beginning of those levels for different soul families and all those different things.
Yeah, that's what came through in my session was that
it's
was already been taking place for certain soul groups, and that on December that shift will be true for a certain soul group. Just what you said. That's totally what my session said. Okay. Yeah. And that really vibed with me. I'm like, how are they gonna, would they just let like 2 billion bodies drop dead, and there would be car accidents and planes going down and trains, and it would wipe out the other 6 billion people? Like, yeah, it's really disgusting and kind of a rude way to do this. So are they going to particleize our bodies? Like what? And so when I finally heard that it's soul groups who have been leaving organically, in my session it said for 3 years that they've been going to a place that we have here dubbed New Earth. It's not called that. Creating the beginning for the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that would be dope. But in my session, it said my direct descendants were picking me up. I was not going with the masses. And there are several people that like, that is the situation. In fact, most of the light workers and people who have been aware of this taking place incarnated here just to assist. And it's the people we've assisted that are very human by nature who have passed into the level of love, who are going to this new place that we call New Earth, but it's not called that. And that the rest of us that have been in the know, we're going to go take a little siesta with our freaking cosmic families for a little bit and then go off and have our beautiful life. But we're going on vacation. But I've also heard that we get to like convene with our personal council and decide if we want to change our soul contract and do something else, because it is always free will. That feels nice.
I love it.
I like the free will aspect. It's always free will. So, I mean, there's no way to end this or tie this up nicely to be like, this is what's happening, other than it seems to be a variation of ways for different soul groups, and that it's all been happening for a little bit of time, and that will continue happening, and that December is some sort of or 21st is definitely a substantial date because of the age of Aquarius coming in and that insane celestial alignment that hasn't happened in 800 years. And that we will see something of consequence. It's just probably not going to be 2 billion people getting sucked up into UFOs.
Oh, that would be nice too.
Yeah. You know, I was trying to visualize, because I've also heard that if every time you ask them how long something will be, they say there is no time. The minute we leave this 3D construct, there is no time. And so defining something by time just seems so irrelevant. But we're like, well, will it be 3 months or 3 years? Like, how long are we going to be on the ship going through the wormhole or whatever the heck? And I heard one say it'll feel like a few months, and I heard another say, I'm not going to read that. Whoever put that mile-long dissertation in the chat message, I'll have to read it after. But thank you. I'll read it after and then address it next time. It's like a whole dissertation in the chat. Shit. I lost it again.
Time is an illusion, and we're here in that illusion now. So we want those answers and understandings now, and we won't care then, because it won't be. We won't be in the illusion anymore.
Correct. Thank you for reiterating that.
You're
that
welcome.
is exactly what I was trying to say. Yes. But some have said 3 years, some have said 3 months. If we were to be able to contact someone on Earth and say, I have arrived safely, it would be a 3 years difference for that phone call to take place. But I don't think everybody's going to the same place. A bulk of us will go in this new place, and a lot of us are going home. And I mean, we're infinite, so we can bounce around and do as we please, but we have some celestial family that we have not got to see in a very long time. And I have no freaking clue who that is, but I feel the longing in my soul. And every time I hear the words go home, I have never once thought about Midland, Texas or Albuquerque, New Mexico. I am somewhere else, home to somewhere else. And I feel that in the depths of my soul. It's like we forget when we're born here and we're in this matrix, we forget. But on a soul level, I remember.
Yeah.
And I have a hole in my heart, and I always have, trying to fill a void. And I think that's what the void is, that little tiny degree of not remembering.
I feel that for sure.
Yeah. I cried so many times in that freaking session. It's hard to listen to more than a couple of minutes of it because I'm like, Jesus, there I go again. I was like, I'm not that big of a tit bag. I cried a lot.
There's nothing wrong with tears. Tears are good.
Well, some people are pretty when they cry, and I'm like,
I don't know many people that are pretty when they cry.
Horrible. Horrible. It just like,
it's just the authentic of the emotions. That's what's so beautiful about crying. It's not the face. It's not the snot running down your nose. It's the authentic feeling.
I think it was the tone in my tears and the sound of my voice made me want to cry again. More than snot and weird faces. It was just like, I don't want to go there again. It's so much. It's so intense. So it's got to be real, man. Or I'm a loon. That's okay too. It's been interesting.
Fuck it.
Right. Whatever. Keeps it interesting.
Anything beyond this reality is worth it.
Yeah. Oh, see, to me, that's insanity to look around and be like, oh, I'm supposed to do work for someone else on hours I don't want to, be away from my family and make them more money than I do myself, even though I'm working harder than them, and then pay taxes on it, and pay taxes on my house, and pay taxes for water that's everywhere, and pay taxes for land that's everywhere. Like, and people actually are just like, yeah, cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to pay taxes and tithes to church so you can talk to your God. And then they're fondling our children. And that's normal to you?
Sick. It's so sick.
You're okay with this being reality? What the
Yeah.
I am trying to substitute my F-bombs because I love to drop them for the word frill. which I was watching this goofy but lovable show about an astronaut that goes through a wormhole and then has to survive out in space. And he makes all these crazy cool friends from different planets and systems, and they go through everything. And it's called Farscape. Anyway, their word for fuck is frel. Oh, I said it anyway.
I go back and forth on that. I keep trying to get rid of them. I've got my certain words that I go to very consistently. And I've got a father that raised me that they're just words.
Yeah, my granny slapped snot out of me and pretends it's because I use cuss words. And I'm like,
yeah, that's an excuse.
That's not, yeah, right. I'm like, that's the worst thing I do is say exactly what I feel to anybody and however I feel it. That's the worst thing I do in life to anyone. I just straight off the cuff, in your face, authentic. Yeah. That's me being a horrible person. And yeah.
Yeah, I definitely go back and forth of trying to find film. I'm like, I'm not being authentically me. But then in certain situations, I feel bad. So, frail.
That's why I'm trying to find a substitute for now and then, because if some like 12-year-old kid is on here who's kind of, I don't want to F-bomb them.
Yeah. I feel you.
I apologize. I am incredibly spiritual and loving, and I love cuss words because I am a passionate person, and they are the correct emphasis.
Yes.
I even like the naughty C word.
I don't use that one ever.
It's very rare, but because I use the F word so frequently, it's kind of lost its punch, and so when I really need that, I go to the C.
That's when you know we're serious.
We've totally gone off track here. And I think that's a good way to wrap it up. Super mellow, silly, fun. No fear, though. Like, just going with the flow and seeing what happens. But if they're little tiny gray android fuckers, don't get on the ship.
Not allowed.
Don't get on that one. All right. Love everyone. I've enjoyed chatting with you. Glad you got your situation worked out.
Hey, next time I'll figure it out better.
Yeah. Holler, and I'll let you know when I have some other crazy topic that I know you're into.
Sounds like
a
plan.
Right, thank you.
Love ya.
Thanks everybody for chilling. Love you. Bye.